Hello student, today we are going to learn some important definition under machine design. First, what is fatigue? Failure of a material under alternating stresses, tensile and compressive, is called fatigue. Fatigue is when a material breaks down after being put under repeated or cyclic loading over time. Even it breaks if the stress level are below the material ultimate tensile strength, that means below the maximum tensile strength. Example, this property is considered in designing shaft, connecting rod, spring, gear, etc. Now, what is endurance limit? The endurance limit, also known as the fatigue limit, is the maximum stress a material can withstand without failure under a repeated loading cycle. It is the maximum stress level. The endurance limit is the maximum stress a material can take without breaking when the stress is repeated over and over. Factors that influence the endurance limit, that is surface finish of the job, size of the job, environment and loading type. Okay, now what is KIPS? The slow and progressive धीरे-धीरे deformation of a metal with time at constant load is called KIPS. Greater the time and temperature, more is the KIPS. KIPS is when a metal slowly changes shape over time when a constant load is applied to it. Now, example of KIPS. This property is considered in designing internal combustion engine, boiler, turbine blades, pipelines, etc. Okay. Now, what is KIPS curve? A KIPS curve is a graph that show how a material's length changes over time when it is under a constant load. The x-axis represent the time and y-axis represent the strain. This is a curve show how a material changes shape over time when it's under constant pressure and temperature. A KIPS curve show a material deform over time under a constant load and stress. There are three stages of the curve. This is primary stages, this is secondary, this is tertiary. Now we discussed the three stages in details. It has three stages. Number one, primary, deformation slow. The material resists the changes, start with a high initial strain rate that decreases over time. Material resists changes at first, start with a high initial strain rate that decreases over time. Number two, secondary or steady rate. Secondary or steady rate, deformation happen at a constant rate, strain rate becomes nearly constant. This stage is the longest and most predictable. Third, tertiary or failure stage, the material weaken and finally fracture or breaks, strain rate accelerate rapidly until failure. Okay,